To persuade audiences, it is important to consider the factors that can make your communication more effective. In this presentation, we will be talking about the 10 factors in persuasive communication. Here are the 10 factors we will be talking about. I've rearranged them because I like to think about these factors within the framework of Laswell's model of communication, which focuses on who says what, to whom, in what channel, with what effect. You will note the with what effect is not there because that's what we are trying to achieve, an effect. Your textbook refers to the components of the communication process of sender, message, receiver, and channel. Let's start with the who, or the sender of the message. Public relations campaigns want to use sources or spokespeople that offer credibility. 3 factors that give a person credibility are expertise, sincerity, and charisma. For example, the Go Red for Women campaign by the American Heart Association can use doctors to talk to women's organizations about heart disease in women. Doctors offer expertise. You also want the spokesperson to be sincere in order to be credible. Finally, you want them to be charismatic, which might be achieved if the spokesperson is articulate, attractive, and competent. Celebrities such as actress Cheryl Hines in the photo on this slide are sometimes good choices because they are charismatic and might be sincere if the issue impacts them in some way. But celebrities do create problems. Sometimes the public can't associate the cause with the celebrity because there are so many celebs serving as spokespeople. Some celebrities are just everywhere, and their other activities can overshadow their connection to an organization or cause. Finally, celebrities can have their own personal problems, which can hurt the organization they are working with. So think carefully when you make a decision about who will deliver your message. Now we will talk about the says what part of the message, starting with clarity. In PR, you don't need to use complicated language to persuade people. You also don't need to communicate lots of ideas at the same time. Keep it simple by asking yourself these 2 questions. Will the audience understand the message? And what do I want the audience to do with the message? This public service announcement has a simple message that a plastic water bottle can be recycled into useful items like a park bench. The audience is also told what to do: recycle it. You have many different devices at your disposal within the content and structure of a message to make it more persuasive. First, you can tell a story, such as how a person was helped by contributions to a certain nonprofit organization. Second, you can include data from surveys or polls that say that your product is the #1 favorite toy among toddlers. Third, you can include statistics that show the percentage of animals from an animal shelter that found homes in a given year. Fourth, you can include specific examples of how people were helped because of the money donated to a charity. Fifth, you can include endorsements by experts. Sixth, you can advocate for causes that your audience feels passionate about, such as when an athletic shoe company sponsors a walkathon to raise money for breast cancer research. Finally, you can use emotional appeals. For example, a wireless phone company can try to persuade teens to stop texting and driving by showing how sad their family members would be if they died while texting and driving. Take a look at this ad for Feeding America Tampa Bay and note both the simplicity of it and the 2 interesting facts it contains. So the first fact about how many people in Tampa are hungry every day would be considered a statistic, and the other about how many meals a small contribution would cover is an example. You may be interested to watch other videos by Feeding America Tampa Bay. You can see in some of the other videos how they also tell stories about the people who benefit from these meals. If you understand people's psychological, economic, or situational needs, you can structure a message that will be persuasive. Charities in particular use this strategy to convince people to volunteer for them or donate to them. If they can highlight some of these benefits in their materials, they may be more effective in achieving their goals. Laswell said that people are motivated by the 8 basic appeals that you see here. Now take a look at this commercial for the Army. It uses an appeal to the self-interest of the mother.
Mom? Mom? When are you gonna tell me what you think?
You want to join the military?
I want to be a part of something bigger than myself. I
want to make a difference, and you feel like you need to do it.
You were listening.
This isn't easy, but I'm trying.
Although the mother seems reluctant to let her daughter join the military, her ultimate self-interest is her daughter's happiness and sense of personal achievement. As part of the message, make sure to tell people how to take action and make those recommendations easy to understand and follow. This campaign for children's oral health probably explains in its materials all the reasons it's important for parents to emphasize proper oral hygiene for their kids, but it also gives them a suggestion for action to make sure the kids are brushing thoroughly. This campaign has a simple message of brushing for 2 minutes twice a day. It's easy to remember and follow. Suggestions for actions and fundraising campaign include telling people exactly how to make a donation, and suggestions for action in community issue campaigns might tell people exactly how to write their congressperson and what to say. Normally, you would start a campaign by understanding your audience, but I'm discussing this here so we can stay within the Laswell model of who said what to whom through what channel. PR practitioners must understand their audience to know how to make a salient message for that audience and address a perceived need. Demographics include such factors as age, gender, ethnicity, income, education, and geography. And psychographics are their beliefs or attitudes, values, and lifestyles. You might also want to understand their concerns. A company called SRI International developed the Values and Lifestyle Program, known as VALS, to understand different segments of the population. People might be classified as innovators, thinkers, achievers, believers, survivors, etc. You can see in these 2 examples how companies use VALS to provide different or targeted appeals. Look at this ad from the Truth campaign targeted to teens. It invites participation by asking teens to find smoking photos and make them look ridiculous by adding silly props. Campaigns like this might also ask people to sign a petition or leave a message on a virtual wall. When the audience can participate or get involved in some way, your message is likely to leave a lasting impression and may change beliefs, attitudes, or even behavior. When you hold a certain belief about something, it can be very hard to change. Say I strongly believe that smoking isn't really all that dangerous to my health. If you try to tell me that it is dangerous, will I change my belief? Even if you give me lots of evidence, it probably won't happen. Now, if that belief isn't all that fully formed, which can happen often with young people, you have an opportunity to change that belief. That's why so many health and political campaigns focus on young people. It's the best time to try to change beliefs and get people to adopt a healthy behavior or support candidates from a certain party. When people's beliefs have been tested or challenged previously, they do form stronger beliefs as a result of that testing. For example, if you believe that Apple is a great company and then the company gets embroiled in some kind of scandal, the PR team should remind you why you like the company in the first place so that your beliefs don't change. In delivering our message, we use different channels for different purposes. Television is visual, sensational, and entertaining. Newspapers are excellent choices for in-depth information and discussions with conflicting viewpoints. Radio is accessible anywhere from home to car to work and can be used in a crisis situation where emergency information needs to be distributed quickly. Social media provide access to millions of followers with instant targeted messages and are also useful in an emergency. They can also be great for visual communication. Finally, face-to-face may be the most effective medium for persuasion. For example, if you saw a public service announcement about donating to a cause, and if you also had a face-to-face meeting with someone from that organization, which would make you more likely to contribute? In this example, when would be a good time to release a message about shark attacks? Summer is good timing, considering that's when people are typically swimming in oceans. This message will also be more effective in the context of other stories about shark attacks. So if the Tampa area has had quite a few reports in the news about shark attacks, it might be a good time to launch a shark attack prevention campaign. So if you can remember these 10 factors, you will be able to construct effective and persuasive messages that will help your organization achieve its goals.